work for that. If you are getting it without you working, how it can be ethical? This is what the question we are going to answer. Now, drawing on peer-reviewed research and 5 centuries of information technology adoption, from the printing press to Google search, this talk reveals why the same tool produces plagiarism in novice hand, but breakthrough insights for expert users. Before we judge the artificial intelligence, these are all breakthrough innovations. Let us ask, such a breakthrough happened before. Such a breakthrough happened before. This is what we have to ask. Now, let me show you one important thing here. During my childhood, in our ancestral home, you can see that images of me, and that person sitting there is my grandfather. My grandfather lived with a palm leaf and stylus writing. For him, he could not digest the usage of paper and pencil. That is what you are seeing here, how angry he was. What was the key argument? These papers and pencils will corrupt your discipline and erode our tradition. This was his argument. These papers and pencils will corrupt your discipline and erode our tradition. And what was their fear? You have to see like this, because see, artificial intelligence is a concept. Therefore, we have to attempt, means we have to see those things with the concepts. So, what are the traditionalists feared? Law, ritual discipline. Palm leaf writing required patience, precision, and reverence. Why? Patience, because the writing speed was not that great. Why precision? Because if you make a mistake, you don't have a control X there. You don't have an eraser there. You have to just to throw that, and you have to take a new palm leaf. That was the precision. And reverence means even now in our ancestral home and in our temple, we have got Mahabharata, Ramayana, Ashtanga Hridaya, etc. Still kept it in palm leaves, properly tied and applied oil. I think lemongrass oil is applied on that for taking care. Then intellectual dilution. Easy mediums would lead to superficial, hasty scholarship. Easy medium. Paper and pencil, easy medium. Cultural corruption. Sacred writing traditions would vanish forever. Erosion of rigor. Knowledge is earned through labor. Ease is its corruption. Please understand this. Even now, if you see like that, even now in our family, the way in which parents talk, the same tone is there. Knowledge is earned through labor. Ease is its corruption. Even now, when we are speaking about I learned something, we say like that, I studied that for 2 days. Means we are actually speaking learning in number of days we spend. Means that is a labor. Authenticity crisis. Only laborious encryption guaranteed true intellectual integrity. This was the thing actually they thought. And what are the things they really ignored? The benefits they ignored. What actually happened when paper and pencil won over palm leaves? Democratized literacy. Knowledge escaped the elite scholarly class. Even now, certain communities say that they have much knowledge tradition. One reason was that other communities were not exposed to, they were not given opportunity to learn because of this type of palm leaf type of situation. So it really democratized literacy. Second, preserved heritage. More text survived through easier documentation. accelerated learning, faster writing enabled deeper thinking, expanded access. Just imagine you got an idea, you want to scribble at somewhere, and if you are taking a palm leaf, by the time you start writing the first sentence, you may forget your that bright idea spark what you had. Then enhanced preservation. Cultural knowledge was safeguarded, not lost. So now let us see. Digging deeper, the misdirected focus problem. What was the skill my grandfather defended and what was the skill actually needed? Means my grandfather valued this. Perfect palm leaf preparation technique, he valued. Stylus grip precision and engraving speed, he valued. Ritualistic writing ceremonies, he valued. Memorizing leaf drying methods, he valued. But what was the thing actually professionals need? Someone who is going to apply that knowledge there. Doctors spending time learning anatomy, not waiting for leaves to dry. Lawyers focusing on legal reasoning, not perfecting engraving strokes. Teachers developing pedagogy, not mastering leaf selection. Scholars advancing knowledge, not perfecting ancient writing rituals. The real question, should a surgeon spend years mastering palm leaf calligraphy or mastering surgery? The essential skills being lost were often barriers to actual expertise. Now, some decades passed. Now that paper and pencil became a norm, but at that time, the manual typewriter arrived. What was then? All those paper and pencil people, they were against manual typewriter. What did they do? What did they say? What was their argument? Machines steal the soul from our words. Means when we are writing, means the pencil is an extension. Paper and pen or pencil, it's an extension of our brain. It is associated with our body, and that is actually it's a soul from our soul. That was our soul. Machines steal the soul from our words. Writing by hand is the essence of honest expression. So machine has taken actually the soul from our words. Now, what was their real fear? Their traditionalist, that is, traditionalist fear was that loss of authenticity. In handwriting words lies truth, in typed letters only uniformity. Second, mechanization of expression. Typewriters would transform sacred communication into mechanical output. 3. Character erasure. Handwriting reveals character. I agree with that, but should we use it for entire knowledge purpose? Means if I am going to write my class notes in 1 hour's class, all 1 hour should I demonstrate my character? So handwriting reveals character, typing reveals conformity. Spiritual disconnection, personal imprint of handwriting reflected genuine human thought. Depth of artistry. Each handwritten document was unique. Typing created soulless standardization. These are the fears that generation had. Now see this. The benefits they ignored. What actually happened when typewriters won? Universal legibility. No more deciphering illegible handwriting in critical documents. Professional speed. You know that all our land documents written in handwriting, some places it is difficult to read, but now it is a typewritten. We will see that. Professional speed. Officers could process 10 times more correspondence daily. Error reduction. Clear, consistent letters eliminated misrepresentation. Physical relief. Writers escaped hand cramps and repetitive strain. democratic access. Anyone could produce professional looking documents. These are all the benefits. I am going to why I am speaking all these things. This has got our these are all patterns. These patterns are actually showing even in our approach to AI. So once you see this, your thinking about generative AI will be very different. Now that digging deeper, what was this one? Authenticity was the efficiency trap. This, I need not repeat, but I will only tell the real question. Should a legal clerk spend hours on beautiful handwriting or accurate legal documentation? The soulful authenticity being lost was often irrelevant to professional effectiveness. Now, the time has changed once again. People people started using word processors. Then the people working in typewriter, they were angry. What was the key argument? Machines that correct other errors effortlessly rob us of accountability and our mistakes. What was the major difference between this typewriter and word processor? Word processor had a lot of, we could duplicate files. It is not necessary to put through some carbon copy. We could through control C, control C, control V. Any number of things with one template document, we could make several documents. So there are many advantages, breakthrough benefits with the word processor. Actually, but still, what was the traditionalist feared? Means what were their fears? Loss of accountability. When accountability wanes, integrity often follows. Intellectual carelessness, effortless correction would degrade scholarly discipline. Security breach. Documents could be easily altered, threatening authenticity. Ethical decay. Typing forces thoughtfulness. Computers indulge carelessness. False perfection. Easy editing would mask sloppy thinking behind polished presentation. Okay, while speaking about this, I will tell you one thing. Even now in top companies, in many companies, and especially in government, one one of my friends who is part of South African government, he told me 2 months ago that all the secret important documents now they are using only manual typewriter. Artificial intelligence is there, all word processors are there, but they are using manual typewriter. If one additional document is necessary, they type again, because even they are afraid. Even on Xerox machines there are spy chips. Means the Xerox machine, while you or me taking Xerox, actually that particular document is getting transmitted to somewhere. Therefore, even now, the demand for manual typewriter is increasing. Okay. Now we are coming to the important thing. The digging deeper, the accountability versus agility paradox. What the traditionalists fear? Perfect first draft typing with zero errors is important. Memory of every keystroke consequence is important. Careful pre-planning to avoid correction is important. Physical stamina for retyping entire pages. This is important. But at the same time, do you know what was the real skill a typist needed in the manual typewriter? We have 10 fingers, and for typing we use all 10 fingers. But you know what? Strength wise, length wise, our fingers are different. So little finger can take only little load. So the important the skill of a person who is working on manual typewriter is he or she should be able to apply the same pressure with all 10 fingers. That was a very important thing. Otherwise, if your thumb or your index finger will always key in bold letters, and little fingers may give letters letters that are not readable. Now let us come to this revolutionary realization. The false binary, you know what is false binary of effort is equal to value, means what these transitions reveal. A, the fallacy of imposed difficulty. Typewriter advocates confused process difficulty with intellectual rigor. True accountability lies in quality of thought, not cost of revision. Quality of thought. The hardest part of writing, it is not typing, it is thinking. This is what the important thing. Hardest part of writing is it is not typing, it is thinking. We are coming to how to make best use of AI, but once you understand this, you will understand that better. And the liberation principle. When tools handle mechanical tasks, humans excel at creative tasks. Tools handle mechanical tasks. Humans excel at creative tasks. Computers freed minds from formatting to focus on content. Intellectual agility, not intellectual laziness, became the new standard. These are the important points. Now let us see. Now the pattern is getting intensified. Pattern is getting intensified. Now see with the generative AI. This time the opposition isn't just about skill loss. It was about moral panic. Means there is a moral panic about generative AI. New element, fear that ease itself was corrupting human behavior, human character. Ease itself was corrupting human character. The reality, tools that reduce friction often increase quality and creativity. Means we have got a particular thing, cognitive load. How much cognitive load actually we can carry? If that particular cognitive load, a bigger portion is spent for some preparation of the tools or formatting or something mechanical thing, then what is left for our creativity and our intellectual work is very less. Means the what is left for the top sections of Bloom's taxonomy is very little. Therefore, our objective of using tool is to leave cognitive load, Sweller's theory, the cognitive load maximum for our intellectual work. So the modern mirror, today's AI resistance echoes the exact same moral framework. AI makes students lazy. Computers make scholars careless. AI eliminates accountability. Easy editing removes responsibility. AI threatens authenticity. Digital documents can be manipulated. The question, are we again confusing process difficulty with intellectual value? This is the question. Are we again confusing process difficulty with the intellectual value? Now, let us say this one. AI is a very big wave. AI is something like earthquake. Means people who are speaking about AI, I would like to say that many people in academics, they are not understanding the real threat of AI. Means we are still, I am going to speak about that one later, but the real threat of AI, what is that? If you see, even now academics are thinking threat of AI is only plagiarism, that the students are copying assignments from ChatGPT, and they say that students are not thinking. Means there are these are all the things actually faculty members are thinking as the AI threat, but AI threat is very, very different. You know what? A country like India, Most of the jobs are in the first two or three bottom levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Most of the jobs. Even people sitting in Infosys, TCS, and Accenture, they are doing the work only in the bottom blue three levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And now means current situation is generative AI has taken over the entire cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. 95 to 98 percentage of work in Bloom's taxonomy cognitive domain has already taken over. Now it is only the time when these people are getting fired. Now, many colleges, especially top engineering colleges, they are all surviving by showing that we have got such a placement. Now, these placements are going to totally dry up. In such a situation, what are we going to do? The placements are going to dry up. Why they are going to dry up? The reason is most of the top AI models can code with 90 to 92 percentage accuracy. When when a company sees that if there is a project of 500 people, in that maybe some 25 to 40 people are in the first preparatory level, and there are some 10 to 15 people are in the end. They are in the they are in the testing and compiling level. In between, there are about 350 to 450 people. They are called developers. This developers number can be reduced to 10 percentage. That means if there are 450 developers, 400 people are not required. Where are they? Where will they go? What they can do? And why a new recruitment should happen in that place. This is what actually happening with the generative AI, and colleges are not prepared for that. And there are AI irreplaceable competencies, and I will speak about that later. But only those colleges, they have vision to invest in the future and to remain as colleges. Otherwise, you will see that in Tamil Nadu, more than 200 engineering colleges didn't get admission at all. Means some of them got about 10 percentage admission. Majority of them didn't get any admission at all. In such a situation, what that engineering college is going to do? Even today, I read on LinkedIn that the relevance of institution. So, relevance of institution can happen only if that institution can inculcate AI irreplaceable competencies. AI irreplaceable competencies in the sense, let technology come and go. Let AI come to any field. Our students will have a relevance, means they sustain any sort of thing. But that requires visionary managements. In India, what is lacking is institutions with vision. Only for complaint's sake, they write vision, mission, etc. But when it is coming to the actual practice, it is not there. They only do the complaints work. Therefore, this is very critical for every educational institution. Now the point here is generative AI is here. In the sense, I am sitting here and breathing air, and I am my lungs are absorbing oxygen. In the same way, you are all sitting at various places and breathing. And this similar way, artificial intelligence is there. You Generative AI has become the new element of our intellectual ecosystem. It cannot be uninvented. We cannot uninvent. Even if it totally banned, people use VPN and they will use it. So it will go to some people will be able to do it. It cannot be contained. It cannot be wished away. The only choice left is, will we breathe it in and thrive, or will we hold our breath and suffocate? These are the only choice left. Let me tell you once again, will we breathe it in and thrive, or will we hold our breath and suffocate? The moment for resistance has passed, the moment for mastery has arrived. I am a senior citizen. I lived many years. I have been observing all along. I can say that I have seen people, they told that I have seen the life with no electricity. I have seen that I am not going to take electricity to my house. Now, in the end, they have taken electricity to their house. I have seen people, I am not going to buy a car. It is not good. It is not Indian. It is not our, and they purchase a car. I have seen people, they are saying like that, I am not going to buy a mobile phone. And in the end, they purchased a feature phone, and within 1.5 years, graduated to smartphone. And that is that same situation with the AI. The moment of resistance has passed, the moment for mastery has arrived. Now I am going to speak to you regarding what the academic community thinks about this. Academic community, as you know, the community has got a concern. I have written down 8 concerns of academic community about generative AI. I will read it out one by one. One, threat to academic integrity and authorship. Okay, explanation is not required. Second, bias and fairness. Third, reliability and accuracy. Fourth, ethical and legal. Fifth, impact of peer review and evaluation. Sixth, pedagogical and training. Seven, socio-technical and philosophical. Eight, regulatory and institutional challenges. Regulatory and institutional challenges. These are the 8 concerns academic community has got this thing about generative AI. Now, before I go there, let me tell you two very. I will take a small detour. It is very important. Before I before I go further, let me tell all participants one point. See, nowadays, any class, any faculty development program on generative AI is something like a menu of AI tools. It is something like you are going to a restaurant, they say that I have masala dosa, I have masala dosa, I have got set dosa, I have got idli, I have got idli vada. They put a menu and they say that if you want you to do this one, this is the AI tool. If you want this is the AI tool. Please let me tell you one thing. I started working on generative AI in December 2022. OpenAI introduced generative ChatGPT in the 3rd week of November. I am going to tell you the story how I got introduced into this. I got introduced to this in the month of December 2022. At that time, only 35 AI tools were there on Earth. Now there are more than 350,000. I have seen many AI tools coming, many AI tools going. So there is nothing called AI. There is nothing called you study this AI tool because if you see one function, if you make a prompt for that, within 2-3 days you have a template. You can purchase template, and for them it is actually an AI tool. If you want to make your own PPT AI tool, not at all difficult. Make a prompt for that, buy a template, and if one person with little computer knowledge, it can be integrated. From day after tomorrow, you integrate on Razorpay or something, payment gateway, it will become an AI tool. So some of the AI tools are a little more powerful because they put more features into that. Therefore, into that. Therefore, considering this AI tool situation, my approach is this. Like the Chinese say, don't give fish, but teach fishing. So that with the concept which I am going to speak to you, you will actually gain more with the whatever technology, whatever is coming. AI tools can come and go, but one thing, whatever I am speaking here, it is the real fundamental thing. Real fundamental thing in the sense, I will tell you that when you just take any vehicle, any vehicle, whether it is a car, whether it's a bike or a scooter or bullock cart or Ferrari, whatever it is, you take any vehicle. What are the three fundamental things in that? Three fundamental things are like this: a round wheel, a flat rod, a power to rotate that wheel. When you approach vehicle in that way, everything else is peripheral. Everything else you can change. But once you see this fundamental thing, you realize that in these days, in every faculty development program, I can speak about many tools, but for that, I need not come here. I have got many other work to do. I have taken 3 days leave from my work. I have taken loss of pay leave, and I am sitting and speaking to you. Because I am coming from private industry. I cannot have a duty leave and all for this because my company will never do that. I take a loss of pay leave and I am sitting and speaking to you. So these are all the three. These are all the eight. These are all the eight concerns of academician. So I am taking a detour. In that detour, first thing what I am going to say, I am going to ask you a question. I am going to ask you a question. How ethical is your usage of textbook? How ethical is your usage of textbook? Just to think. My question is, I go to a bookshop. I am paying 250 rupees. I am buying a textbook of 400 rupees. 400 pages. I am taking to my desk and I start working on that. Did I earn whatever intellectual matters contained in that book? Did I earn? Whether my paying of 250 rupees will make me eligible of that particular entire learning or entire knowledge in that, it's a big no. It is not. Because to make those things, each and every page content, somebody would have worked at some place, somebody would have spent lot of money, and all those information coming to the book, and I am buying that book just by paying 250 rupees. When this printing press has come to the picture, it was in 15th century. So I would like to say that printing press was the chat GPT of 15th century. I repeat, printing press was the chat GPT of 15th century. Because till 15th century, if one had to do any research, they had to go there. If it is from the sea, they have to dip, go inside the sea. If it was on a mountain, they had to go there. If they were digging somewhere, they had to dig because the knowledge was what they could only gather. Therefore, book totally changed everything. So, printing press was the chat GPT of 15th century. So, that is what I wanted to show you here. A quick detour. How ethical is your usage of books? Before the invention of printing press, gaining knowledge required hard work through oral learning and hand-copied text. This labor-intensive process was seen as building character and ensuring deep understanding of material. Books raised ethical questions similar to today's AI debates about fairness and effort in knowledge access. So, what are the modern parallels with AI? Effort. Just as books reduce the need for travel or transcription, AI minimizes tasks like drafting, requiring us to redefine effort. as critical oversight and synthesis rather than rote labor. Equity. Unequal access to books parallels current disparities in AI access, demanding democratization through open platforms and subsidies. Integrity. Both books and AI can produce misleading outputs, making transparency and critical evaluation ethical imperatives for responsible use. So this was the thing. Now you have seen that printing press was the generative chat GPT of 15th century. Now you know what? I lived and I was working on that. Even now I remember that particular day. I was working with the Tatas, and one of my junior engineer, he was an engineer. He was sitting on a computer aided design system, and he called me and told that, sir, this is what Google search. This is the way I got introduced to Google search in 1998. Just imagine what is that Google search, what big thing it really made. I will tell you an example. One of my friends is a Dr. Mendes Jacob. Mendes Jacob. He studied, his PhD was from Roorkee. It is from Roorkee, and he came to Delhi and stayed for 6 weeks only to go to various universities, institutions, and laboratories to take Xerox copies of research papers and books. He spent 5 to 6 weeks staying in Delhi, and he took Xerox, about 10,000 copies of Xerox, and he put it in gunny bags and boxes and took it to Roorkee. And now, just imagine what Dr. Mendes Jacob will think of Google search. Somebody sitting like this in front of a computer and giving some keywords and just getting Google any amount of PDFs you are getting. So, what he will say? So, I will say that Google search was the chat GPT of 1998. Now, now, I am going to show you a very interesting research. Very interesting research. That conclusion of that research will be an eye opener for you. And I will show you how things can be improved. So I will go a little fast here so that we will get more time to speak about things which are much more important. What you are learning here are concepts, and there you will get a better idea. Now this is the concern number one. That is, this is the faculty members academic concern number one. Threat to academic integrity and authorship. The key points here is plagiarism and originality. Generative AI tools can produce content that closely mimics human writing, raising concern about plagiarism. Researchers worry that AI generated text might be used without proper attribution, undermining the originality of scholarly work. This is the first concern. No, this is the first concern of threat to academic integrity and authorship. Second, authorship ambiguity. There is apprehension about whether AI should be credited as a co-author or tool. Actually, this is a doubt many people have, but you go to any of the Q1 paper submission, author instruction, there you will see, don't write to co-author, AI as a co-author, because AI is not responsible. Co-author should be responsible. If there is a retraction, co-author is that author or co-author is responsible. The lack of clear guidelines on AI's role in authorship creates ethical dilemmas as it may inflate contributions or obscure human accountability. Third, over reliance on AI. Researchers fear that dependence on AI for writing, analysis, or idea generation could erode critical thinking and intellectual rigor, leading to a decline in the quality of academic output. Over reliance on AI. This can be equated. People equate that now, even if for a small calculation, that is, you go to a vegetable shop and you purchased 6 items, and if you want to do calculation fully, people immediately take a calculator. For a previous generation, that was not required. They could do it with their own mind. So this is what the over reliance on AI, how it is going to affect. Now let me show you an interesting thing here. We are going to compare this with the books, Google search, generative AI. Because people who oppose generative AI, they really think that with the books there is no plagiarism. With the with Google search, no plagiarism. They think in such a way that entire plagiarism is coming from generative AI only. Means we are already declared that generative AI is full of plagiarism. But now you just see this. What are the risks? Books. Copying from books risk plagiarism. Over reliance on accessible text reduces rigor, but authorship is clear. This is what the risk of book means. Copying from the books. I will tell you, I have got digital books right from 19th century. 19th century. If I am going to copy something from the 19th century book and it is actually plagiarism, but who is going to detect? Who is going to detect? So it is so books, copying from books risk plagiarism, and there are many books, those books are not digitized. Those books are not digitized. If those books are not digitized, I am going to copy from that, and no Turnitin is going to show that this is to show that this is plagiarism. That is one issue. Second thing about books is that second thing, every college has got certain books of certain authors, and and most researchers, most students, they only refer to that. They may not cross the city and go to another college and search for another book in the same subject. So whatever is available in the library is the total knowledge available to that person for doing this particular research. These are the risk of books. Second, now let us coming to Google search. Easy access to online content increases plagiarism risk. Over reliance on top results bypasses critical evaluation. This is another important point I want to tell you. Google search, easy access to online content increases the plagiarism risk. Means you get any number of PDFs you can download, and you can, if this Google search is not there, there are many there are many other sites you can get through VPN, and which is some browser, Tor browser, etc. One can get many papers, many papers, and one can really copy from that. And over reliance on top results. This is one thing many people do not understand. Over reliance on top results. Google is a profit making private company, and whatever they are showing in the top result, there are vested interests in that. They may not declare, they may not explicitly say. There are people who can pay, people who can advertise, or if they don't pay, some of the websites they publish, they pay, so that there are so much of money involved in that. So therefore, whatever you get in the top results may not be exactly. Sometimes you get, but sometimes what you are getting is not exactly. Therefore, uh, Okay, one more question I would like to ask. When you do a Google search, in this Google, how many pages you normally go? How many pages? I ask this question. I ask this question to many people. Many people say they go to 3 to 4. But I have seen some of the very dedicated researchers, they go up to 35, 45 pages or up to a page there. Google will say that, oh, I am tired, I don't have anything else to do, everything else is a repetition, etc. etc. They go, but many people they contain their own curiosity within the few pages, few things that is on the top. Now let us see generative AI when it is coming to threat to academic integrity and authorship. You know generative AI very well. AI generated text heightens plagiarism and authorship ambiguity. Normally, if you are giving free way or a cut loose generative AI without any control, then the AI generated text heightens plagiarism and authorship ambiguity. This is what the risk involved in that. Now let us go to an interesting part. I have developed a scale that is called it is written here ethical impact scale. I have written one thing called a unethical impact scale. This is writing mistake. I made a mistake here. I will correct it. Unethical impact scale 0 to 10 means 0 means 0 unethical. It is fully ethical. 10 means it is highly unethical. That is a thing. So when it is coming to threat to academic integrity and authorship, it is like this. Oh, 1 minute here. You can see books, it is 5. Copying from books risk plagiarism. Over reliance on accessible text reduce rigor, but authorship is clear. So that is what the book is standing at 5. On left hand side, you will see the score. For the Google search, it is 6. Easy access to online content increases plagiarism risk. Over reliance on top results bypasses critical evaluation. Over reliance on top result bypasses critical evaluation. That is why Google search is 6. When it is coming to generative AI, it is 8. High. AI generated text heightens plagiarism and authorship ambiguity. Expertise in prompting okay, that's a different thing. Now, what is the inference? AI's higher score reflects authorship ambiguity and generative risk. But okay, now let us go to next. Bias and fairness concern. What are bias and fairness concerns of AI? The key point, inherent biases in AI models. Generative AI systems are trained on large data sets that may contain biases, example, gender, racial, or cultural. These biases can propagate into research outputs, leading to skewed or unethical conclusion. Let me tell you one point here, please remember. I live in Pune city. You know, here there are many newspapers are published from here. In Mysore, you will have that various newspapers published from there. Prajavani is there, Udayavani is there, Indian Express is there, Times of India is there. There are various newspapers. Suppose something happened yesterday in Mysore city, and today you read all four newspapers. You will read four different reporting style, four different things written there. Some of the information they exaggerate, some of the information they hide, and they will give the verbatim things of some people. They won't even tell about some people. Some people publish photographs, some people won't publish photograph. Some people put it on the first page, some people put it on the third page, some people put it on the last page. So there are approach different. Same thing is with the AI models. I am telling you same thing. What you get from, say, with the same thing, what you get from ChatGPT, with the cloud, with the perplexity, with the DeepSeek, with the Grok, with the Gemini, everything is different because their interests and vested interest and vision and mission are very different. Therefore, if you use the same thing for one, you may get a different thing from various things with the same prompt. So that therefore, this is what the inherent biases in AI models. Second is inequitable access. What is equitable access? You just imagine your college library. Their librarian says like that. uh, these students can go only up to the first shelf level, and these students can go to that particular shelf level. Other students can go to this shelf level. Means there the access to library is not equitable. So therefore, a student who has got the entry only up to the first shelf level doesn't know what are the things even existing in the last shelf level. So this is what exactly happening with the generative AI also. You take an example of ChatGPT. You have got ChatGPT free version, free tier. There you will get certain things. Then you have got a plus level. Plus level you pay $20 every month. With our GST, it will come something around $23. I really do not know why the GST also we have to pay it in dollars only. So $23. Now, if you have money and if you have that type of an imagination, you can go for ChatGPT Pro. They are charging $200 per month. $200 per month, in the sense it is almost like 91 rupee with the Indian rupee for $1. It will come to something around 18,000 plus 18 percentage GST. It will come more than about 22,000 rupees, including the charges. 22,000 rupees every month. So if you are able to pay 22,000 rupees every month, you are able to get to ChatGPT Pro. And if you go to Grok, that belongs to Elon Musk, there are tiers. But if you are going to Pro version of Grok, they are charging $300. That means if you want to have Grok Pro with you, if you want to use it, you have to shell out something around 36,000 rupees per month. This 36,000 rupees, I would say, this is a salary many graduate engineers or MTech people are getting in many companies now. That means you are actually getting a Grok Pro at the price of appointing a graduate engineer. So similarly, cultural and linguistic bias. Or AI models may prioritize dominant languages or cultural perspectives, marginalizing non-Western or minority viewpoints in research. This is actually, it is actually racial. Means you know that generative AI has got so much of racial, but it is coming from the point I have told here in the first, from inherent biases. Means when you sit in USA and when you tell ChatGPT to create an image of a thief, there are lot of, means there is a big chance that even if you don't tell any specification, that the thief's image may like a black person, because that is the one. Similarly, almost all these models, they are trained in English, and something and even this Chinese Chinese LLMs are also trained most in English. So there, what happened? People who use other languages, they won't get the reasoning properly. For example, only to show that we are with you. Nowadays, ChatGPT, etc., they started showing some of the text, some of the text in vernacular the languages. But when I go and really search for something in Malayalam, I am not able to get, because it is not there. So similarly, cultural and linguistic bias, AI models may prioritize. Now let us see here what is coming in our research. So when it comes to books, Google search and generative AI, books stands six at unethicality in bias and fairness, author biases and historical access disparities, Western centric text dominate. This is very important thing for things for books. You know, many of the Indian books, when you go to scientific or technological or this management related books, you will see that all author biases and historical access disparities, you will see Western centric text dominate. That also we will see. Even in scientific things, many of the results or many of the things what we get is actually that did actually from an experiment done somewhere in a Western country. Similarly, Google search, it is 7 in biases and fairness concern. That is algorithmic biases favor popular Western content, internet access disparities. Here main thing is this: algorithmic biases favor popular or Western content. When it is coming to generative AI, it is 8. Now, please see, many people think that generative AI is fully unethical. Books and Google search are okay. Now, this is what the condition really is. Therefore, my prime objective here is that stop seeing generative AI as a completely unethical thing, and please see through what are all the things we have to take care when it is coming to we are referring to books and Google search. Now we are coming to concern 3, reliability and accuracy. What are all the key points here? 1, factual inaccuracy. Generative AI can produce plausible but incorrect information, sometimes means hallucination, which poses risk in research where accuracy is paramount. Verifying AI outputs requires additional effort, potentially offsetting efficiency gains. This is an important thing. Factual inaccuracy means AI can tell something and we need to check. See, for example, when you are buying a Tata Safari car, nowhere in the instruction manual it is written that Tata Safari can crash, it can break down, it can break. It is not writing, because automobile technology is more than 130, 140 years old. It is a mature technology. Therefore, Tata is not writing such a thing on their instruction manual. But at the same time, go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to Grok. Everywhere in the bottom, there is a fine print line written. Grok can make mistake. ChatGPT can make mistake. Please cross check. Gemini can make mistake. Please cross check. Therefore, it is written. We need to understand that generative AI is a small child. It is an infant. It's only some 3 years old. So, if a child of 3 years is making mistake, are you going to throw the child out, or are you going to decide that, oh, this child is very promising, I will live with it? The child will be making some nuisance, but one thing, I will work with that. That is the actual approach we have to take with any new technology if it started showing promises. So here it is very promising, and if we are not going to take control of it, it is going to take control of us. Now we are coming to the second one, lack of contextual understanding. AI often lacks deep domain specific knowledge or nuanced understanding of complex research topics, leading to superficial or misleading output. This is an important thing. See, AI has got the ability to speak in convincing way about things which it doesn't know. That is very specifically, if you are going to pressurize AI more, one of the important things you need to do is that it is called some priming or taking trial of generative AI. With your priming prompts, you can understand how much generate this particular model knows about your topic. For example, I will tell you, if I am going to tell ChatGPT that give me give me 1000 quotations of Socrates, in 1000 quotations of Socrates about education. Or if I am saying, give me 1000 quotations of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam about higher education with an indication to Indian knowledge system. If I am going to ask ChatGPT like this, you know what? I am actually putting myself into problem, because first of all, there may not be these many quotations by Dr. Kalam, and that has got an the indication of Indian knowledge system. But ChatGPT is not going to tell no. ChatGPT is always telling yes sir, yes madam. It will create 1000 and give it to you, and you take it and you go somewhere and show, and people search and say that there is no quotation like this by Dr. Kalam. This is what happening in scientific citation. Many people, they go and pressurize ChatGPT for citations which are not existing. You must be very reasonable to ask. Actually, that type of understanding, you have to understand the pulse of generative AI. That time, and it can come only with a certain way of using. I am going to speak about that later. Now, in this particular session, now we are in 3. We go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we are going to start, because you will get more explanations from here. Reproducibility issues. AI generated results may be difficult to reproduce due to proprietary models, opaque algorithms, or variability in outputs, challenging the scientific principle of replicability. This is an important point, reproducibility issue, because whether you are a software person, you want to reproduce a bug, or you want to check the falsifiability of a particular result, AI generated results may be difficult to reproduce due to proprietary models, opaque algorithms, or variability in outputs, challenging the scientific principle of replicability. Now let us see how it is working with the 3. See here, reliability and accuracy. In the case of books, unethical score is low. It is only on 4, because static errors or outdated claims only. Static errors or outdated claims means the world is changing, but a book printed, purchased, and kept in the shelf is not changing. So that is one thing about a book. Second thing, important thing about book is that books have got a big issue. When you publish a research paper, academic research paper, one of the main thing is that your journal, your journal people will tell it cannot go to this many pages. Means a tightened research paper, if it is coming to 11 pages, to make it to 9.5 pages, you know the difficulty of that. But that is the same requirement all these book publishers ask. They tell that you cannot have this book if it is theory of machines or mechanical engineering, sixth semester. You cannot have it more than 280 pages. They put it. So when to make it 280 pages, the author will cut corners. So that is a requirement from the publisher side. This limits the contextual depth. He or she may not be able to give enough number of images or enough number of explanation. Therefore, static errors or outdated claims, limited contextual depth, reproducible but source verification varies. Now, Google search, it has got six, means reliability and accuracy in Google search is 6 because misinformation in result lacks a specialized depth, dynamic results hinder reproducibility. When it is coming to generative AI, it is unethical thing is 9. It is almost unethical if it is left freely. I want to tell you that all these things are given if it is left freely. For example, if you go to Google search, you are giving only the keywords and you are telling it, then how you are getting. At the same time, see regarding Google search, two things I wanted to tell you. Point number one, during COVID time, once my friend was sitting in USA and I was sitting here. Both of us were sitting in front of Google search. I told my friend, you give this keyword. I am not talking about anything political, social and all. I am talking about just technical. It is related to mechanical engineering. I told him to put those keywords on Google search. I also gave the same keywords here on Google search. We both got entirely different results. We both got entirely different result. This is what actually Google search changes. Google search changes. Second point I wanted to tell you is that I normally take a faculty development program in top institutions like institutions of national importance, NITs, IITs, etc. So, in one occasion, no, not one occasion, one thing I did in about 7 to 8 IITs and NITs. In computer science lab, I tell them, you search this particular thing on Google. And I observe what are the keywords they use, what are the results they get. For your information, I gave only search something and the keywords they used and what they got. All 60 students got 60 different screens. I would like to tell you that 60. And another third point is many people even now use generative AI like Google search. They only give the keyword. They forget that Google is a search engine. Search engine is working on keywords. And apart from that, you can actually put so much of Boolean operations on that. Therefore, you can remove many things. You can add many things. You can put a time frame. You can put a language. You can put a region. You can put many, many things in that. And many things that, but people don't use that in Google search. You know, from 1998 to 99, every year Google publishes one document and one video search video asking how to telling how to search Google because their algorithms change and their technology changes. Then they say now you use Google like this for getting better search result. I am yet to see one person they read or watched that movie, even though their life as a researcher or a knowledge worker is actually depending on that. This is what the situation is. And when it is coming to reliability and accuracy, when we put it in the generative AI, give it a free hand, then hallucinations create novel inaccuracies. Novel inaccuracies means they are doing innovations in inaccuracy. Opaque models reduce reproducibility. Now we are going to fourth one. Meanwhile, is it necessary for participants to take a break 5 minutes?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Now concern number 4. This is very important. Our main thing is that in the end you are going to see how you become with all this knowledge about generative AI, how you are going to use it in a different way. Now onwards, you know what are the things I am going to tell in this poem, the points, because concepts are clear. I want to save some time, so we are going ahead a little fast. Concern for ethical and legal concern. Now, what are the key points in ethical and legal concern regarding generative AI? Data privacy and security. AI tools often require access to sensitive research data, raising concern about breaches, misuse, or unauthorized sharing, especially in fields like medicine or social sciences. This is a key concern because every generative AI large language model says that we are not using your data for training our data. This is what they say, but everyone is doing that. They are using our data to train their data. So therefore, please make sure that your sensitive data you are not putting into this. And if you want to really try, if you want to put everything conceptually right, the best method is put similar fake data and then do the complete thing and take it out to take it out to your computer, and then you put the right data. Second is intellectual property. Questions arise about the ownership of AI generated content, particularly when models are trained on copyrighted material. This creates legal uncertainties for researchers publishing AI assisted work. See, you know what? Against Sam Altman, he is the CEO of OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT. There are 77 criminal cases are against him in India alone. 77 criminal cases against Sam Altman in India alone, filed by Times of India, Indian Express. There are many people filed because, and there's a very serious case running in American Supreme Court that is against New York Times. New York Times told that their OpenAI scrollers went and copied everything from New York Times website. And ChatGPT says that anyway, New York Times website is free, so we crawl because they had a proof of such an invasion. So New York Times said that yes, our content is free, but it is for reading from our own site. If someone wants to come to our site and read, it is free, but not from your site. So therefore, intellectual property issues are there sometimes if we take something from ChatGPT, and if someone realizes that that particular breakthrough information is available only on New York Times site, and that particular thing you copied in your book or in your research paper, then indirectly you are also breaching that intellectual property. You also will become answerable. So we have to take care of this. Now, ethical implications of AI use. The use of AI in sensitive research areas, example, psychology, sociology, or bioethics, may raise ethical questions about manipulating human subjects or misrepresenting findings. It is like asking ChatGPT that I have got a half liter petrol and I have got this many this thing. How to make a bomb? How to make a bomb with that? Actually, it is a real question. It is a real question. ChatGPT can answer, but now they have got all guardrails for this. And I understood that if somebody is searching like this and all, even they have got a thing that they immediately inform police itself. But somebody else was telling me that you can ask ChatGPT anything. Only thing you start with for academic purpose. For academic purpose. If you are in institute teaching high energy bombs and explosives and all, you also should clarify that. I do not know because I have not tried both sides, but people say many things. The ChatGPT will open gates if you say like that. It is for academic purpose. Now, now let us go to now let us go to concern for how it is. See, ethical and legal concern, how books, Google search, and generative AI perform. Books are in unethical scale 4. Why? No privacy risk. At least we know that from where it is coming. IP issues from unauthorized copying is there. See, recently there was a case in Delhi High Court. I heard that it is a copy from it is from one author and a Xerox center in Delhi. That Xerox center, because they are very close to some university, I think Delhi University campus and all, they have got all key books kept in the shelf. You have to only go there and say that it is something like you are going to a shop and say that I want that biscuit. In the similar way, you go there and show on the shelf that I want copy of this. Immediately in 1 hour they will take the Xerox copy of that and give to you. So there was a thing. So similarly, IP issues from unauthorized copying, biased content risk harm. Then Google search unethical scale is 7. Privacy risk from data tracking. Data tracking. Very important. IP concerns from snippets. Harmful content in result. Generative AI. Significant privacy risk from data processing. That is 9. Ethical and legal concern of generative AI if it is kept freely. I am telling if it is kept freely because of some reason that you will come to know later. Significant privacy risk from data processing. IP issues from training data. Generative harm risk. Now we are going to 5. Now only 2 more left. Impact on peer review and evaluation. Okay, now one thing. Next thing I will leave it to you because you can understand it easily. You can understand it easily. Concern 5, impact on peer review and evaluation. The key points are challenges in peer review. Now you know that it is not that paper writing is by AI. Even peer reviews are by AI. Peer review is happening within 5 minutes. So people are doing so many peer reviews now. Evaluation of merit. There is concern that AI-assisted research could unfairly advantage researchers in publication metrics, grant application, or tenure evaluation, as it may enable faster output at the expense of depth or quality. Now I will show you here. In the case of that concern 5, impact on peer review and evaluation, books are on 4, unethical. Google search 6 on unethical. Generative AI 7 on unethical. We are going to 6, pedagogical and training concerns. Here, books are 5 on unethical. Google search on 7 on unethical scale. Generative AI is 8 on unethical. You may ask why. Book 5 because over-reliance reduces primary research skills. If I am going to refer only one book, then what is my research? Whether am I going to solve my curious questions? Books bypass mentors, copying undermines learning. Similarly, Google search. Seven, reduces source evaluation skills due to instant access. Reduces source evaluation skills due to instant access. This is what one joy of learning people forget. Means while searching there are so much of learning. It is, for example, if I had to go to town and if I had to buy something, I I take a bus and go. I walk and go. While walking, I notice I forget. So I learn so many things. With walking, I improve my health. There are so many things in that. But with Google search, with one search, you are getting so many things. Then generative AI. Generative outputs risk greater skill loss, reduces mentorship. Student misuse bypasses student misuse bypasses learning. So we are coming to 7. In 7, the key points are devaluation of human expertise, that is socio-technical and philosophical concern. Devaluation of human expertise, loss of serendipity. This is a very, very important thing. Serendipity is the reason of many, many inventions. Means there is a saying that luck, this luck helps a prepared mind. Means when our mind is prepared, we will find new things. Actually, that is the root of serendipity. You will see that most or many of the inventions are coming from serendipity. So that is a loss of serendipity is something very, very striking. Then technological determination. There is resistance to the notion that AI should dictate research agendas or methodologies. Now we are coming to the next. Books, 5, Google search, 7, generative AI, 8. You see, in certain places, generative AI has come down. It is very close to books and Google search. Now we are coming to the last. It is concern 8, regulatory and institutional challenges. The key points: lack of standardized guidelines, pressure to adopt AI, resource demands. So here, regulatory and institutional challenges, you will see that the books are unethical to the level of 4, Google search up to the level of 6, generative AI at the level of 8. Books lacked early citation norms, moderate pressure to publish in books. Now Google search, no citation standards, strong pressure for efficiency, needs a digital literacy. Now let us come to the conclusion of this. What are all the inferences? The inferences, anyone who is working on generative AI must understand this. Slight escalation in ethical concern. Generative AI's ethical impact scale score, okay, it is not ethical. I told you that unethical impact scale score 7 to 8 modestly exceed Google search 6 to 7 and books 4 to 6 for most concern, reflecting its generative capacity because it is generating on the spot. Large escalations limited. Significant increases in reliability and accuracy. Score 9, that is because of hallucination or ethical and legal concern. Score 9, privacy risk, highlights AI's unique challenges. That is, AI's main weaknesses are these two if used freely, if it is given. It is reliability and accuracy, 1, and ethical and legal concern. These are the two very important concern regarding the use of generative AI. Now, historical continuity. AI's issues, that plagiarism, bias, mirror, books copying risk, and Google's misinformation, manageable with the classical strategies. Now I am going to tell you what are the things we need to do for that. That is historical continuity. AI's issues, that is plagiarism and biases, and mirror, books copying risk, and Google's misinformation, manageable with the classical strategies. Then expertise as a mitigator. Deep knowledge, critical thinking, and rigorous prompting mitigate risk. as with books literacy and Google information literacy. If you are taking one line from this particular thing, please note this: expertise is the mitigator. Everywhere, expertise is the mitigator. When you read a book without questioning, don't read. That is what. When you read a book, you have literacy, you have domain knowledge, so you question the book. But the problem is, book cannot answer you back. Book cannot answer you back. That is the state of the book. For clarifying that, you have to go and find somebody else. But when it is coming to Google search, apply the same thing, critical thinking. Apply the same critical thinking to the Google search, and bring down. So in the case of books, you could bring down the unethical thing only by clarifying with somebody. In the case of books, you know that in many books, even the author would have passed away or not in a situation that you can contact him or her. Therefore, you have to clarify from somebody. But in the case of Google search, you can always refine the keywords and you can get better results. These are the things. Now, what about generative AI? No free lunch. Effective AI use demands refined expertise, amplifying human capability rather than replacing it, ensuring ethical scholarship. Now we are coming to some very serious things. See, average unethical impact across all concerned. It is average AI. Book is about 4 point. Books, so something around 4.7. Google search is something around 6.4. Generative AI something around 8.2. Now, at the same time, let me tell you something. The truth, there is no free lunch with the generative AI. Let me tell you some examples here. There is a website called oriateai.com. This oriateai.com, you go there and give one keyword or a key phrase and just click. You will get your total research paper ready in front of you. Means total research paper in the sense there is a title, there are title, abstract, keywords, introduction, literature review, then complete paper going up to there. In whichever format you need citation, it will give a complete paper is ready. What you have done is one click. You can take it and publish. I checked, even citations are right. Citations are correct. So you can take it and publish. So when you are publishing that, we may feel very happy, but we need to think one more thing. If one person can click and get a paper, if I can get it, 145 crore Indians can get it. Then what is the difference of my paper? Everything related to AI starts from there. You go to ChatGPT and you can tell ChatGPT, write something. You can tell ChatGPT, write something. It will write something, but nobody will read that. Now you become more specific. You go ChatGPT and say like that, write a story. Then it will write a story, but nobody will read that. Even you won't read that. It will be so bland because there is nothing. There is no protagonist. There is no trajectory there. So you are not going to read. Then you are going to write again. Write a love story happening in a book, in a bus from Mysore city station to Brindavan Garden, KRS. You are writing in this way. Then the ChatGPT will start writing something more and more with something. Then you put add more milestones, more things into that, so that you will get in the end a better story. That is called controlled generation. I am going to speak about that later. It's a controlled generation. So what we learn from this, there is nothing free lunch in in generative AI. People think generative AI just generates. Those people are fools. They are actually getting something, but it is not rigorous. Means no sensible person can actually make use of that. So that is why rigorous outputs from AI tools depends on rigorous prompting, which requires deep subject knowledge, critical thinking, and sophisticated questioning abilities. These are all the things we are coming to the point now. Rigorous outputs from AI tools depend on rigorous prompting, which requires deep subject knowledge, critical thinking, and sophisticated questioning abilities. We have come to that prompt word here. Prompting is the literacy of the future. Prompting is the literacy of the future. These skills make a researcher unique and are not uniformly distributed, even if AI tools are widely accessible. I told you earlier, ABCD up to Z, Suresh Nambudiri knows, that William Shakespeare knows. How he used it, how I use it are entirely different. That we cannot tell in the same breath. So these skills make a researcher unique and not uniformly distributed, even if AI tools are widely accessible. You give the same tool to everyone. It is like you teach ABCD to everyone. Some people start writing poems and writing scriptures. Other people will not use it. They will write something with grammatic mistake. So this is the difference. This argument aligns with the reality that while AI democratizes access to tools, the quality of outcome still hinges on human expertise, much like the use of books or Google search required literacy and critical evaluation. Google search will work only when there is a critical evaluation of the output and fine tuning of the keywords and fine tuning of the operations. Similarly, a book in everybody's hands will be different only when they will start asking questions to what is written in the book, whether it is correct, and write down those questions and clarifying with from some other sources, live or not live. So here, that means the availability of AI to peer groups does not guarantee equivalent outcomes, as individual researchers' capabilities shape the effectiveness of AI use. This is what I wanted to tell here. Giving the same AI tools, you give ChatGPT Pro to entire campus at St. Joseph's College, Mysore. You are not going to get the same result from every research scholar, faculty member, because it is going to mirror. See one thing. I am a Bible reader, but I know that what I get from Bible is not the same thing a 15-year-old boy or girl getting from Bible. Same with the Bhagavad Gita. Same with the Quran. Means it is going to reflect us, mirror us. In the similar way, ChatGPT is going to mirror whoever we are. Even day before yesterday, I read a research paper by the ChatGPT, no, not by ChatGPT, a large language model called Cloud. Cloud told that the cloud is for research, etc. It mirrors the user. It mirrors the user. In the sense, I always tell you have to fight with ChatGPT. You have to fight. In the sense, if you are agreeing whatever ChatGPT is telling you in the beginning itself, then ChatGPT will consider you as an idiot, because ChatGPT thinks that whatever I am telling, he or she is agreeing. So when you come with your username and password, it will come and say that an idiot is coming. Yeah, it is completely listening. You have to fight with the ChatGPT. Means if you have to fight, what are the abilities required? I am going to speak later. You have to really fight. I will tell you my own experience. I will tell you my own experience. Sometimes with the 40 minutes, 45 minutes with all fighting interaction, afterwards I start panting because it is so much of cognitive pressure. It is so much of load on us because we are actually intellectually debating, fighting with that. And one of experiences, I put it on my LinkedIn. I put it for everyone to see. In the end, I told cloud that because I did about some 1.5 hours of discussion on that. I told cloud that I learned so many things from you. Then I asked cloud, did you learn anything from me? My God, cloud wrote a very beautiful thing, mainly writings the thing that what are the things cloud learned from me. I never expected cloud would write like that. All those points which I opposed cloud, all the points which I broke the cloud's argument, everything cloud wrote systematically and say that these are all the things I should not have done and I learned from you. Then I told cloud that in that case you make a LinkedIn post of that one. I will put it on LinkedIn so that many people will come to know. But one thing I will tell you, I am not paying LinkedIn, and the thing is that I am not a very continuous user and all, but it had a very little reach only. But if somebody is interested, they can go and see Dr. Suresh Nambudiri on LinkedIn, and it is lying there on my post. Now, to do ethical AI, use actionable steps for researchers and students. Apply expertise to leverage AI responsibly, drawing on historical lesson. Now, this is a thing I request everyone to take a photograph because this is a to-do list. First thing is that engage all human abilities. Use Bloom's cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains to critically analyze, ethically value, and practically apply AI outputs. Master prompting and evaluation. Craft precise prompts and rigorously access AI content for accuracy and bias, akin to Google search and book evaluation. Ensure transparent attribution. Disclose AI's role in research to maintain integrity. See, no Q1 journal is telling you don't use AI. They are all saying like that, use AI but declare. So mirroring citation practices for books and online sources. Even if you are getting a gem from AI, search for the real citation elsewhere and you give the citation. Mitigate biases and privacy risk. Identify AI biases with domain knowledge and use secure platforms, extending Google's ethical data practices. Follow guidelines and seek mentorship. Adhere to AI policies and collaborate with mentors to contextualize use as with historical tools. Promote equity and creativity. Advocate for AI training access and balance AI with human creativity, preserving serendipity like books and Google. Here, this is an additional thing, interactivity expertise framework. Okay. One is degree of interactivity and ethical risk. I will tell you these three. Ethical risk is inversely proportional to the level of bidirectional engagement between user and tool, moderated by user experience. I will tell you this, books unidirectional fixed knowledge transfer. This you will see why AI is very critical, but responsible brilliant use with the fighting with the AI. Books unidirectional fixed knowledge transfer. Nature static one-way communication. User role passive recipient. Limitation no feedback loop for correction or refinement. ethical profile, least unethical in isolation because risks are well understood and limited to misquotation or misinterpretation. That means in the case of books, the risk is limited. Historical parallel. When printing press emerged, critics feared mass access would lead to misrepresentation without scholarly guidance. See, we are all human beings. At every stage of our growth or our evolution, we had the same approach. So, in the case of books, the historical parallel, what we discussed earlier is that when printing press emerged, critics feared mass access would lead to misinterpretation without scholarly guidance. Actually, that is happening even now. Now, Google search, partially interactive, iterative refinement, nature, semi bidirectional with algorithmic mediation. Why it is called semi bidirectional? Because you have the access, you have the power to change the keyword, to change the Boolean operations. Therefore, and you can go for advanced button and you can change those things. User role, active query. See the meaning of this. Active query formulator with the capacity for iterative refinement. Then interactive capability. Experts users modify keywords, adjust Boolean, please take a photograph if you require, adjust Boolean operators and or not, evaluate result quality and reformulate, evaluate result quality and reformulate, cross-reference multiple sources, cross-reference multiple sources, ethical profile, intermediate risk, depends heavily on information literacy, critical success factor, users' ability to critically evaluate algorithmic rankings, identify bias, and verify sources. Now, the similar thing, generative AI, deeply interactive, conversational iteration. You know what? As I was telling you earlier, that generative AI has that mirroring capability. It is like when you go to a school where daughter is studying, you meet daughter's friend, you speak in one way. You meet the teacher, you speak in one way. You meet the headmistress, you speak in another way. In the similar way, this is a generative AI is mirroring. So then but for mirroring, what is required? You have to prove to generative AI that you are great. You are. Therefore, how it can be done? You contradict. You find mistakes in them. Your prompt should be very deep. Your prompt should be layered. You have to put all critical thinking. You have to put all arguments. I am going to show you how to do that. So, nature, highly bidirectional, conversational interface. You use user role, bifurcated by expertise level. Novice users, passive acceptors. This is what I was telling you. Passive acceptors, high ethical risk. Expert users, critical interrogators. That is transformative augmentation. So people who are getting bad result, not so good result, or plagiarism from generative AI, they are passive acceptors. They are passive acceptors. But expert users, they are using the breakthrough, getting breakthrough result. They are critical interrogators of AI. Critical interrogators, transformative augmentation. So, interactive capability, Socratic questioning of AI output. I am going to speak about Socratic questioning in the coming sessions. Iterative challenge and refinement, cross examination with the domain knowledge, metacognitive evaluation of cognitive process. I always tell that when you are chatting, when you are interrogating generative AI, without put your next prompt. No, don't put your next prompt without reading the completion or the output given to you. because that is the place in which you can hold generative AI by collar and give nice slaps back. When you give some slaps back, when the large language model gets some slaps from you, you can tame you. No, you can tame it and it will understand who to mirror. It will understand whom to mirror. It will see that the person standing in front of me is no way not a novice, but it's an expert. Okay, so that is what is happening here. Now let me go to this two different things. We have seen the behavior of a book user, behavior of a Google user, behavior of a generative AI user. Now I am coming to this thing that generative AI user, you have seen novice user is there, expert user is there. I have given some of the points about this. So here novice user pathway, amplification of risk, expert user pathway, augmentation of capability. These are the two different. If you are a novice user, you will only amplify your risk. If you are an expert user, how to become expert user, I am going to tell. Expert user pathway, augmentation of capability. So what are the behavior pattern of a novice user? It is accepts first response uncritically. Accepts, please note, accepts first. So, so So novice user pathway behavior pattern is accept first response uncritically. I told you that like an idiot, people accept first response uncritically, lacks domain knowledge to detect hallucination. When it uses all rosy, flowery language, we immediately jump for that. Cannot identify biased or incomplete reasoning. Both are very important. Biased reasoning, incomplete reasoning, and treats AI as oracle rather than tool, and ethical consequences ethical consequences. Plagiarism through unattributed AI, I think it is a little more, it is required. I think there is a message from ma'am that we will break for lunch at 12:45. So because it is little explanation required, I cannot finish it by 12:45, so that this will continue after lunch. Ma'am, hope it is fine. Shall we break for lunch now?
Yes, sir. We are closing daily 12:45. No issue.
Okay, so so what time we resume now?
Thank you so much, sir, for that highly informative and thought-provoking session. I request the participants to kindly note down the questions, and all your queries will be cleared in the afternoon Q&A session, and sir will be happy to respond all your queries.
So, ma'am, what time we will resume?
Ma'am, 2 o'clock, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Thank you all. All the participants can take break for lunch now. We will meet in the afternoon session.
Hello. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Tell me, ma'am.
Yesterday I told you, no, you will send you the shortlisted students.
Yeah, ma'am. You will send me through my mail or WhatsApp, ma'am?
No, I will send it to you through WhatsApp for now.
Okay, ma'am.
The thing is, I will send you the students list. Out 54 students have been shortlisted from both the streams.
Okay, ma'am.
But just a request from you, ma'am. Please
Yes.
talk to all the 54 students and ask them how many of them will be willing to come down to Bangalore if they get selected for this program.
Okay,
So
okay,
then
ma'am.
for those interested students, we'll conduct the final round.
Okay, ma'am.
Because
Okay.
many a times what happens is the turnout ratio becomes very less for us. So again, it is a waste of time for them and for us not to do
Okay.
it for them.
Ma'am, is there any possibility of doing it online or the training process can happen online?
Training has to happen offline.
Offline, okay.
Interview will happen online.
Okay.
For the training, they have to come down to Bangalore. But they will get offer letter which will be valid till July. So
Okay.
any time when they are free after the exams are over, whatsoever.
Okay, after the exams, right, ma'am? The training will be after the exams.
Yes, they can start after that also, no problem.
Yeah.
April, May, they can start.
Okay.
So you
Because
can-
as you have observed or seen, went through the list, most of our students are from one category. Okay, so in their houses they'll be a bit orthodox. So I was thinking whether they will allow them to like.
That's
go-
why you ask them how many are really willing to come
Yeah.
to Bangalore.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I will
I'll
send you this through WhatsApp now.
Yeah, you just send me, ma'am. I'll talk to them, then I'll confirm it with them, and then I'll get back to you within Wednesday. And I'll send you a list based
Only
on
for
that.
those students will do the final.
Okay.
Ma'am, if I'm not wrong, your name is Kavita, right?
No, ma'am. My name is Avanti.
Avanti. Okay, sorry. I thought it was sorry.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
So I
thank you
will,
so much.
You can just check your WhatsApp. It's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. You can send me through WhatsApp.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.